Okay. I think this works. I can never tell. If it works or not. Maybe I can look at my phone, maybe? Just like check the Twitch thing on my phone. I mean, look. Hey, it's me looking at my phone. Thing on my phone? On my phone. Hey, it's me looking at my phone. Hey. On my phone. Is the music working? Oh. Too much feedback. I think it works. Okay, I can hear you. Good. I can never tell if I'd love to know if there was a trick to tell if the music was too loud. Because I can hear the music good, but I don't want it to sort of impact the mic situation that I've got going on. So is there like a rule of thumb maybe for like how loud the music should be? Like a percentage? Who knows? Maybe one day I will figure it out. Because I like listening to music as I code. I can hear the music, but it's just slight background noise. That's what I want. Just slight background noise for the most part. I did think about making it so that like the music drops automatically, you know, when I talk and then goes back up when I'm just sort of coding. Remember those levels? I don't know what to, look, I have spent the whole morning buggerizing around with this streaming setup, and I have a newfound appreciation for streamers because the amount of just rigmarole you have to go through to get things working correctly is insane. Like in my computer, I've got a program called Loopback that is like capturing my mic and the music from Safari that is then passing it through to these virtual audio devices, which is then being picked up by my streaming software, which I've just switched to Meld away from Streamlabs Studio, which I was using OBS originally. But the Streamlabs client was super clunky and bloated. Yeah, doing it blown most of the time, exactly. The Streamlabs client was just super. I've got a pretty good computer, and it was like taking forever to load. And OBS, I feel like is, makes me raw dog the settings too much. I don't know. I appreciate how low level OBS is, but I'm a total noob when it comes to the bitrate and streaming quality settings. And I feel like I'm just continuously stuffing it up. So I want something a little bit more sort of hands-off, and I came across this thing called Meld Studio, which is kind of cool, but Meld doesn't have any real audio handling on macOS, which is what I stream from. So I had to like redo the whole setup, and I think I've got it working. So, but look, I can do animations now, which is ready. Pow! Look at that. Ready? We'll do that again. Doop and doop and doop. And doop-doop. That's cool. Yeah, it's kind of cool. It's the only cool thing that I managed to get it to do. But I just, what I really need is just something that's really strong. I haven't done any of the sound effects yet in Meld Studio. I haven't played with any of that stuff yet. I just tried to get music playing through so I can listen to it, and you can listen to it while I'm coding. So that's what I'm gonna do today. I didn't code yesterday. I didn't do stream. I wasn't feeling that crash up. So today I'm going to make up for it. Oh, my sound effects. Oh, the banana. I think the banana still works. I haven't tried the banana in a while. Try putting a banana in the chat. See if it still works. It's supposed to still work. I haven't tested it in a while. Just a banana emoji. Straight up banana emoji. Banana emoji. You can do it. You can do it. A banana emoji. Oh, the animations that I was making with my mouth. I was like, I didn't make any animations. Yeah, I'll try the banana. Ready? See if it works. Hey, cursor, change to banana still. It still works. But the music didn't play. Maybe the capture. Supposed to play music. Let's see if we can get that working again. So the way that particular feature works, I wrote my own. This chat up here, I wrote myself. It's not very good. It's really not that very good. I wrote it in Ruby, and oh, that's the database. Don't even know the database. Where is the code that does it? I think it's in the client, I guess. I did a lot of experiments in here, so the code is atrocious. Absolutely UI.rb maybe. This might be the code. So render chats. Here we go. Banana. The banana code. If the chat message is a banana, I check the banana thread, and so I do run this. When I encounter banana in the chat, what I do is I spin off a new thread that sleeps for 5 seconds. Well, I change the banana, the cursor to a banana, and then I sleep for 5 seconds, and then I set it back. The reason that I use a thread is essentially so you can't overload with too many bananas. Like if there's lots of bananas that don't just keep adding up. It's basically a debouncer. It's a very bad debouncer. And I'm doing this code here. Gapless. I'm running this downloads nice banana movie guy. That should still work. Let's try it manually in the command line. Oops. How do I get this code to copy? I can never remember how to copy paste in Arch. Whoops. Whoops. Why? I think I've got the multi-clipboard thing set up. There we go. Yeah, exactly. No, I didn't hear it. I don't think it's playing through properly. Maybe there's a setting in my... well, it's set up to play stuff from the Elgato capture card. Hey, look, everyone can code. Everyone can code. You just gotta practice. You just gotta practice. I mean, maybe in the future you don't have to code. Maybe it's all sort of for nothing. Maybe it's all for nothing. But in the meantime, I enjoy coding a lot. Maybe the volume is not right or something. It's playing here. I can see it playing here. Maybe I got to change this output. What's this? It's playing to the Pulse audio engine and the playback. Recording audio. Yes. Why don't I have access to the HDMI? That's true. ChatGPT can only do what it's seen before, basically. Digital output. Yeah, this needs to be HDMI, except it's not in the list. Maybe I set this to default. What's this one? Lock channels set as default. it's playing through there now, which is good. Let's crank it.
Nice banana.
All right.
Nice banana.
I feel like it's playing somewhere. Is Nice Banana? It does play. It doesn't play for me though. It doesn't play for me, which is annoying. This is maybe I gotta like do something. Oh man, it's so complicated. This whole world is complicated. What I could do is what I can do is inside loopback, I guess. I can change the sine noisy. In here, you know, you can't see what I'm doing, but I'm messing around with something. Capture card. I change the source to be the Elgato. The Elgato. And that means I can change this to be the microphone set up so I can listen to it at the same time. I don't need that thing. I go to the Meld Studio and I edit this and I change this to be this thing. So I should be able to hear it as well as it playing on the stream. Moment of truth. Moment of truth.
Nice banana.
Yeah, I can hear it. I can hear it. Yes. Nice banana. So, go back to my testing scenario. Let's try it again. Oh, banana. Give me a banana. Just stuff everything up. Hang on. No. Have you got any plans since no longer CEO of Bilkite? No, I got lots of plans.
Nice banana.
I'm going to make my terminal play Nice Banana. That's what I am going to do. Hopefully that comes through nice and loud and it's a jolt. Yeah, look, like not being the CEO of a company anymore is always a bit of a weird situation. But I love building things. I love working on code, and I'm just going to keep doing what I'm doing. I'm going to keep doing what I'm doing. I was a programmer before Bilkite. I'm a programmer during Bilkite, a programmer after Bilkite. I'm surprised you know who I am. Surprised not many people know. I think it's in my bio what I've done, but most of the time no one really mentions it. You went to school with me, really? Who are you, Mr. V? I went to school. Who's Mr. V from school? I know a couple of V. Friends. Hey, I know you. Yes, I remember you very well. How you doing, man? You good? Oh man. Yeah, the names. The names that we used for each other. The weird names that we used. And look at us now. Old men. 37-year-old man talking on the internet. How far have we come since that place that I won't mention publicly just because it's weird things to say things publicly. Yeah, I got kids now. I got 3 kids. I got 2 boys and a girl. 4 years old, 3 years old, and the girl was pretty fresh. She's 8 months old, so that's kind of cool having the kids. All under 5, which is hardcore, which is hard mode for kids. No one tells you how it's going to be hard mode. And you know, I remember having kids for the first time. The first kid, after we had him, everything was kind of the same but different. It was like kind of having a puppy that you just got to really like focus on for a while. But then it wasn't until 6 months in that like I realized, oh, I'm a dad now. Yeah, that's like separated. Sucks, man. I'm sorry to hear. But it was not until like 6 months you realize that, you know, you're a dad. And it's not until like I'm like 4 years into this fatherhood thing that like I realize who I am to the kids, if that makes sense. You know, like you forget who you are to them. Like to me, I'm still Keith that likes messing around with computers and playing with programming and video games and watching TV. Like I'm still that guy, but to them, I am dad. And that's weird. It's a weird thing to realize that I am dad to them, and my like risk tolerance profile has dropped drastically since I realized that. You know, I think that beforehand I was kind of like meh, you know, whatever, like or whatever. I would just do whatever. I would do that slightly risky thing, but now, like, you know, if I see an injustice in the world, like if I'm outside the house doing something and I see someone doing something silly, or, you know, like someone being naughty, I used to be like, hey, you should stop doing that naughty thing. But now I'm like, I don't want to die. So I will just sort of keep to myself a little bit, which is a weird situation to be in. Here's an example, right? Here's an example. I was driving once, and it was just me and my wife, and we were driving to the shops. We just had the kids like a year in, and there was this car being really reckless on the road. And I remember it so vividly because the license plate said Pig Hunter. I just remembered it. And they were going like, woo, woo, and they were driving on the wrong side of the road. And I thought, you know what? I'm going to like, this person's clearly going to kill somebody. I'm going to go like follow them and tell them off and say, what the hell are you doing? And my wife was like, no, don't do that. They're probably just going to do something stupid. I'm like, no. This is serious. They're going to really hurt somebody. So then I followed them. And, well, I didn't follow them. I followed them for a little bit, but then Christy was like, my wife, she was like, no, stop. And I was like, okay, stop. So we went on our business. Later on that night, it was on the news that police were looking for anybody with information about a car with license plate Pig Hunter because they shot someone in the face with a shotgun. The person that I was going to follow and have a bit of a word with shot someone in the face with a double barrel. Yeah, and so luckily for me, I actually had footage on my car because I had the dash cam situation. I downloaded the footage and I sent it to the police. Sent it to the local police. I was like, hey, look, here's a time and place. And so I learned my lesson to just, it's one of those weird things where you kind of want to do the right thing, but then you might get shot in the face. What's the right thing to do in that situation? I don't know. I don't know what the right thing is. Because if I got shot in the face, my kids grow up without a dad. Like that's pretty deep, right? Like that's a weird thing to contemplate is that decision. Like do you be the bigger person? Do you be the knight? Do you be like the savior and do that? But you're not only risking your own life, you're risking like the future. Yeah. Or a dad with no face. I like my face. Except I got to shave my beard. Anyway, speaking of dads, yesterday I got, I didn't stream yesterday because I had a vasectomy. Is this something you talk about on stream? Is this weird to talk about on stream? I don't know. I had a vasectomy yesterday. Weird. It's a weird thing to have done, a vasectomy. Because on one hand, it's like, you just get your business is fondled and then you just lose. Like I haven't lost anything. Still there. All my bits are still there, but they've just been misconfigured. They've been unconfigured. Like some very important config files have been removed from the situation downstairs, and it didn't hurt. Although when I was having it done, I was laying on the table, and the doctor was like, the surgeon, I guess. He was like, I'm going to play. Here's an iPad for you to watch. No, I'm not sitting on ice. I did ice the situation up, but I'm feeling pretty okay now. So I lay down on the bed, and he was like, here's an iPad to watch. And the iPad was of like those You know, there's men on YouTube that build things with their hands, like building a cabin in the woods with like their own hands and like a hammer or something. It was one of those videos. And it was just such a manly thing to watch while having my manhood played with. And it was funny because the guy was like, all right, see, he was down there like cooking with my bits. And he said, oh, now you're going to hear like a burning, you smell a burning smell. And I was like, cool, that's fine. And then at the same time, the guy on the YouTube video was installing like a fireplace. And I thought it was a very multi-sensory experience, smelling testicular burning at the same time as watching this video of this guy installing a fireplace. It was very funny. See, it wasn't that bad. I'm not sitting on ice. It was, I did it mostly for my wife because she's been like on the pill for ages and she just didn't want to take it anymore. She was like, I'm done taking the pill. It's your turn to take over the responsibility of contraception. And we've got 3 kids. We don't want any more kids. This is very personal. I don't know why I'm talking about this. I should talk about code. I should talk about coding stuff. I should be coding. I'm doing SQLite. Like Pantry Wrangler, the getting followed it's pretty scary. You want to follow the person, but then you realize like if you follow one of those individuals that have done something silly on the road, like ultimately they don't care. Like it's those people that park silly in car parks. They just park awfully. Like they know they've parked awfully. They know they've taken up 2 bays. They just don't care. They don't care. And so there's really nothing you can say to them where they're going to be like, yeah, you know what? I really did a wrong thing then. I'm going to like change my ways. It's not going to happen. In fact, if you confront them over it, they're just going to put their defenses are going to go up. Like their lizard brain is going to kick in, their fight or flight is going to kick in, and then they're just going to just rage at you hard. So it's really like it's a lose-lose situation. It may make you feel good in the moment to think that you did something right, but ultimately it's going to yield no net response from them. They're going to go home and change their ways because they know what they did. They just don't. There are some folks, people just don't care. They just don't care, and it's a hard thing to wrap your head around sometimes. The fact that they just don't. They don't care. Weird people. And endoscopy. I've never had one of those before. I've not had one of those before. I don't really want to, if I'm honest. Putting things in where places shouldn't be, it's not it's not my cup of tea. So anyway, that's enough about my testicles. About my testicles. Let's talk about some SQLite. So last time I'm trying to replace auto jump. So I'm using this program called Zoxide to do auto jumping, and it's quite rigid in the fact that you can't really set custom locations. So I've got Zoxide set to J. J is the shortcut I've got for it, and if I type jdevfi, I get to the right location, dev files. But if I want JDV, it doesn't show me the right place. Like it's not smart enough to realize that DV should also match dev files. So that's what I'm trying to basically rebuild with the least amount of bash as possible. This music is so loud for me. So loud. I'm going to turn it down. One moment, please. One moment. I hope it doesn't turn down for everybody. That should be better. All right. So, and so the way that I don't think it'd be that difficult to build because ultimately all that Zoxide is doing is keeping track of all the working directories, like all the places that you visit. And there's an algorithm to say that when you put a query in, like find the closest match of those working directories to the query. It shouldn't be that difficult. but there's a few complicated things we have to sort of work around. The first thing is the storage location. Where do we store those working directories? Well, first off, it's how do we get a copy of the working directories? And then where do we store those working directories? And where can we query those working directories? I've done the first bit okay. So the way that the first bit works is this is my bash RC file. This is the file that gets sort of sets up my bash shell environment. So this prompt command special environment variable here lets me define a function that is run every single time I send a command into the bash shell. So that's just test 1, 2, 3. I should rename it something a bit more better. What it does then is it calls the SQLite 3. It basically inserts that working directory via PWD into this Skippy database. And it uses a on conflict. So this is basically an upsert. Insert into the directories where the path is that working directory. And if that path already exists in the table, update its frequency to just add 1 to the frequency. I need coding skills. I need Python and JS and Bash. Are these symlinks on an online server or local? Which symlinks? Sorry. The symlinks. Sorry, I'm not sure what the question is. But if you need coding skills, the best way to learn coding is just make something, whatever it is. Make it, doesn't matter how crap it is, just make anything that your mind can come up with. And the best way to make something, like when I started programming, I would just make copies of stuff that I would find on the internet. I remember I would make copies of my favorite forum. I would make a clone of the games that I would play inside, Adobe Flash it was back then. And the cool thing about programming is that you just make it for yourself. Like you don't really need to make this grandiose thing that everyone's going to use in the world. You just make something for you. Like any program that you make is valid, and your skills will improve over time. I've been programming since I was 16. And the thing about programming is that there's really two parts to programming, right? There's the logic side of things, and then there's the syntax side of things. So the logic part is like, how do you describe a sequence of events to a computer? Like that's the first bit. It's like the logical step-by-step operations. Open this file, write this text, save the file, ensure the file is saved. That's would be the logical steps. But then there's the syntax to communicate that to the computer. And there's so many different syntaxes. You can use like Python, you can use Ruby. I'm using Bash to play with at the moment. It's okay. You can be in your 50s. Look, there's no age. Programming doesn't discriminate. I think that the only person that would stand in the way of you learning programming is you. Look, choose. If you've got an idea for something, you can totally build it. And in fact, I think that there are plenty of excellent coding courses on the internet of how to just learn programming. For me, I'm using the language that I'm using today is not something that you should use. I'm using can you even call Bash a language? Maybe. So this here is called the terminal, and this is basically the terminal is a way to interact with the computer. And every single time I put commands in here, I'm basically running a command inside a program. This is called Z shell, this particular one. But if I can switch into Bash, and this is a different type of terminal with a different language, which is basically the same thing, but kind of different. Very confusing. But I'm writing a lot of my programs in something called Bash, which stands for Born Again Shell. The reason I'm using Bash is, look, I actually don't know why that I'm using Bash. There's something about Bash I find just so portable in the fact that it's on like Bash exists on almost every computer, every Linux computer, and it's there, and you can sort of just use it straight away. But it's not very good. It's not very fast, and I'm definitely pushing it to its limits. I'm definitely doing things in Bash that you should be using a different language for. But I prefer to see how far I can push the limits of things. Raspberry Pi. Yeah, you should totally set up your Raspberry Pi to be a server. I have a Raspberry Pi server, and it's the best thing ever. In fact, I have a home lab just maybe 6 meters from me, and I have 2 Mac Minis, a Raspberry Pi, and a Intel NUC set up. And on those computers, I've got a wide variety of Docker containers. I've got a media server set up so I can watch videos that I've acquired from the internet. I've also got my own private, see if I can show it to you. I got my own private, ChatGPT. There you go. Whoops, it's not working very well. Here you go. This is my own private AI. So this is running Code Llama. I can change it to Llama. So I can say like, what? Tell me things about Australia in the style of Steve Irwin. Let's see if it figures it out. So this is a local AI that I have running on my computer just around the corner. This doesn't touch the internet at all. It's not very quick. It's obviously not as fast as using ChatGPT or Claude or any of those other services, but I mean, it kind of works in a thick Australian. G'day, mate. Steve Irwin here, the crocodile hunter. See, it works. It works. And just give me something from. This is completely free, open source software. I don't have to do anything. I just had to set it up in this computer, only a few meters from me. Do I use Pieces? What's Pieces? The MP, I've not really played with a lot of MCP stuff. I've not really played with MCP servers yet. It's on my list of things to do. And on Raspberry Pis are super powerful. Like you can get some really fantastic Raspberry Pis, and you can get like a little display, like a little LCD screen you can plug into it. Awesome, so awesome. Oh, you've got all the bits. Right, yeah, you got a real internet situation. Well, here's what you do. Go to Bunnings and buy Starlink. They sell Starlink at Bunnings. Just get one and just like plug it outside. You have your own internet. You don't have to worry about your landlord's internet. Hang on. So, Banty, you've got all the things set up. You've got all the things. You can learn programming. You can afford it. Just go Afterpay. Get Afterpay Bunnings. You'll be fine. Afterpay Bunnings, Starlink. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. I have to pay a lot. Yeah, I've been there, man. I've been there. Sorry. I'm eating cheese and crackers. So, I mean, the reason I set up this local AI in the first place is I wanted to, here's the reason that I set it up in the first place was I'm really interested in the vision APIs. So, being, after my job at BuildKite, I was working on BuildKite stuff exclusively for 13 years, right? Like all my creative juices went into this one thing. And after being outside of BuildKite for a hot minute, I've got 13 years of ideas to catch up on. And it's kind of, it's a little bit weird because there are so many things that I want to build and want to try. And I've just, I've got a short amount of time until I got to get a job because I need money. Like I don't have a job. My wife doesn't have a job either. So what I started playing with was building some family calendar software. Bash is actually very slow. It's very slow, and it's like the arrays are atrociously slow in Bash. Very frustrating, actually. Very, very frustrating. But I'm wondering how much. I think a lot about algorithms there. I don't need to use arrays, so that's how I sort of get around that. But anyway, this AI thing, I wanted to make it a family calendar, and so the problem that I was trying to solve is my wife is basically, she has the entire schedule of the kids in her head. Swimming on Fridays, we've got purple day next Tuesday, the sports day next Wednesday, then they have to like wear this certain thing. Like there's like the schedule of kids is incredibly complicated. And there are plenty of like commercial solutions. You can buy things called like Skylight. It's like it's like an iPad you stick in your kitchen, and it's got a calendar on it. But what I really wanted to do is figure out a way for me to take a picture of some communication from my kid's school, like snap a picture, and have that automatically figure out what the content of that picture is about. Say, hey, your boy needs to wear purple next Tuesday for Purple Tuesday, whatever it is, right? Figure out the context and then create a calendar event from that piece of paper. But obviously, I needed a way to figure out. I didn't want to do OCR straight up because just reading the text would have yielded some weird results. I need to translate that to something. Well, I could share an Apple Calendar, that's the thing, but I needed to get the workflow that I wanted is take my phone, grab my phone, take a picture, snap, and then have it just magically appear in the calendar with all the context. Now, what I did was I took a picture of the communication piece of paper that I had, and I fed it into Llama and said, can you create me a JSON representation of what this piece of paper is about? Because then I could feed that JSON representation into some calendar thing. It said, this is you're looking at a tree, which was pretty funny. It was a bit of paper, and it told me it was a tree. It's technically not wrong. But what I learned then, though, is like these models, because you can't have all of ChatGPT in your computer, you have to have the very specific models. And so I downloaded a vision model and said, like, turn this piece of paper into a JSON thing. And it did a really good job. It gave me a JSON representation of the event, of the date, and what the requirements were. And it was great because I really want to use AI to sort of help the scheduling of my kids' weeks, but I don't want my kids' data to leave the house. I just I feel a bit funny about putting my kids' names on the internet and kids' pictures on the internet. I feel a bit funny about it. So I don't. I especially don't want to be feeding that stuff to an AI, for sure. Like I don't want to be giving AI the pictures of my kids' school and stuff. That's it's a bit weird. So I don't. So I was playing with these local AIs, and they work really well for this sort of stuff. My hot take is that everyone is in the future, you will have your modem, your router, and your local AI box. That's my prediction. You will have a local AI machine in your house, and it's only a matter of time until, your Apple TV box has some local AI model on it for local calculations. And the reason that I know this is going to happen, let me show you, right? In Australia, we have a very famous shopping, the Walmart, I guess what's the equivalent in the States? We have one called Bunnings. I guess what's the DIY place in the States? I can't remember what it's called. You buy wood and stuff, and you buy glue. You buy bolts. Home Depot. That's the one. Thank you. Yeah, Home Depot. So you can go to Bunnings and you type in NVIDIA. You can buy, firstly, you can buy graphics cards from Bunnings, which is pretty wild. But you can buy NVIDIA Jet, I think it's called. Nope, that's actual paint. Where is it? It's Jet something. NVIDIA AI. Can't find it now, but it's on here somewhere. I'm just not looking for it properly. Anyway, you can buy a little AI box from Bunnings. and it is perfectly capable of running a bunch of models locally on your machine. And so I feel like the future of AI is definitely local on your machine. Data doesn't leave, and you just bring these very specific small models to low-powered hardware. That's my hot take. That's my take. Jetson, that's the one. NVIDIA Jetson. That's what I was looking for. Thank you. I couldn't remember the name. I was just talking to Jet. There you go. Jetson, right? Jetson. There you go. You can buy it from Bunnings. For $449. I mean, it's not sold in the store. Like, you can't go to aisle 6,542 and buy it, but you can still get it from Bunnings. You can get a bunch of stuff from Bunnings, actually. HP ZBook Firefly. That's a lot of money for a laptop. That seems like a ripoff. You can buy a MacBook there for like 3x the speed and performance and just put like Windows on it. It's touchscreen. I don't know anyone who owns a touchscreen laptop. They just seem clunky to me. 32 gigabytes of RAM. Maybe it's good quality. I don't know. If you have the flamingos, you've gone too far. IFC, you've watched Bluey before. Is old only. Right. Okay. It's a very old version of Ubuntu. Yeah. Okay. But still, my point stands. I think that local AI is the future, and it's really not that difficult to set up. Like Ollama just makes it so easy to set up. All right, I get back to my thing. I gotta stop talking. I gotta build the software that I want to build. It's never gonna get built. All right. So here's what I'm doing. I'm doing things in Bash that should not be done, basically. So I had this idea to replace my auto jump program Zoxide with something just simple written in Bash. And the first step to that was storing the data somewhere. Like I need to store the working directories that I visit often somewhere. And I'm doing that so far in this code here. So whenever I enter a command in my Bash shell, it calls this command SQLite, which test123 with test123. And this is some SQL using SQLite 3. I'm inserting into the directories table with this path. And if there's a conflict, just update the frequency. And this is the database I'm using, SkippyDB. So I'm able to store the directories that I jump into so far. Good. That's so far so good. The next thing I need to do is sort of like query that table and get the results. So the next thing I need to do is figure out how to query the table in the database, figure out which directory I'm trying to aim for, and return that to the user, and then ultimately CD into that directory. But because I'm doing it in Bash, I was thinking to myself, like, how do I, if I wanted to open a persistent connection to SQLite inside Bash, how would I do that? Because Bash is not designed to be opening persistent connections to databases. It is ultimately a scripting language for the shell. It's not really a programming language. So I had this idea to use a coproc, which is a feature in one of the later versions of Bash, which means you can have a co-process. So you can run a process alongside your Bash script. In this case, I'm using SQLite as that co-process. Ignore this business for now, but ultimately what it's doing is it's starting up a database in a background thread, a database connection in a background thread. And I'm using this Northwind DB as just a sort of a test case. And then I've got a couple of functions. So I've got readco, which is reading from that database connection. And when the database starts up, it spits out some bullshit like you connected to SQLite database, blah, blah, blah. That's why I have to do an initial read of that database. And here, what I'm doing is, I can't remember what I'm doing. Here we go. I'm trying it out. So I'm trying to query the database, select everything from employees. This is the test database. And I'm trying to then loop over the results of that database, but I haven't quite got it working yet. All right. Goodbye, Mr. V. It's good seeing you again. Good seeing you. Take care of yourself, man. Take care. Get a Starlink. Okay, so I'm trying to figure out why this is not working like I expected to. Like, it's supposed to be putting something out. Hang on, let me just set up my development environment properly. I don't think I've got it set up properly. This is the code, and this is I'll just do the testing in here. SQLite. Cool. So it's supposed to be like, this is supposed to be working. Let me just try put some debugging content in here. Oh, it's not even getting to that point. It's not even getting to this part yet. It's getting stuck on the read code. I haven't looked at this code in like 2 weeks, so I'm a bit rusty. Maybe this database doesn't exist anymore. Maybe that's the problem. SQLite init is a thing. The difficult bit of this stuff that I'm working on is that it's like, I think I need to invest a little bit more time and effort into error handling and debugging code, because it's really difficult to debug whether or not the thing is working. Like, how do I know this is like, why is it so I run the script and it's just holding there? Like why? Like, who knows? Like, it's really difficult to know why this is not actually working at all. So because it's obviously stuck. It's certainly not stuck here. It's stuck here. Read code. Let's go. Reading first. So if I go like, something into that bit. Really? It's not even getting to that bit? It should be getting to at least read code. Getting here. Am I in the right file? Am I even in the right file? I'm in the right file. There's ASDF. Very good. This function's not working. Maybe it's the dev null call, maybe? Maybe. Oh, of course. That's right. I was piping the output to dev null. Of course I wasn't going to see it. Of course I wasn't going to see it. All right, so let's have a look at why this isn't working. So I'm calling readco. So this is reading from this connection that I've created, the SQLite connection. And it's reading until the delimiter of that. Now, I remember I was trying to figure out the delimiter situation. So basically it was going to read until this point, until it encounters one of those curly brackets. But I don't remember. I remember change the curly bracket situation. Like, it's supposed to call. So I've got the mode of ASCII, which is what I want. The prompt ready. Read into the standard out variable. Why don't we remove this? And you remember this thing works. Pass error. No such table employees. Really? I mean, I'm getting an error back out, which is good now. Like, I'm getting something. So this is why I haven't invested in any debugging infrastructure, because like this should have been posted through the thing already. I just think coprocs are just not very good, if I'm honest. I feel like coprocs are just not that useful. Like I've had nothing but problems with coprocs, and the reason for that is that I seem to block so easily, if I'm honest. Like this thing here, like this is me. I gotta like output this data, and I remove the tail. I remove the top first. Yeah, this is that stuff that I was reading from. This is that bullshit that I have to sort of suppress, right? So I was suppressing that information. That's what the first read is doing. No such table employees. Why is this not? This table. The table should exist, right? What is it? Code SQLite 3. Code Northwind. Really? Tables? What? Maybe I've moved the maybe I've moved it somewhere. Maybe I moved the code somewhere. Maybe I moved it into standard lib. Test. Fixtures. Let's try this particular database. No, what I wanted. Standard lib.sh test fixtures northwind.db. Okay, I know what to open database. Not text, test. Oops, did I not save it? Oops. Cool, all right, it's doing something now. Hello, Kim Kardashian, thank you for joining. I'm just currently failing abysmally at programming. You'd think that I would know, considering I've been a professional programmer for 20 years, that I'd be better. I'd be better at this than I look, but I'm not. I'm programming in something that I'm just way outside my comfort zone. And the way that I program is I find like I center my skills on a technique or an approach. Like I'll find this one way of doing something, and then I'll expand from that. And it's by finding that central approach to doing something interesting, I haven't quite figured out yet, and that takes a lot of time and effort of like figuring out this one weird trick that you can then build upon from, and you just build infrastructure around this one thing. That's what I'm doing right now, and that's trying to like run a SQLite database inside Bash. It's very silly. It's a very silly thing to do, but I'm doing it anyway. So, I'm supposed to be reading from this database now. This is fine. I was supposed to be reading from. This used to be a D. Where did this D? I used to have this as the delimiter, but I don't understand why that was the case. Let's just leave that as that for now. Any bobcats in the chat? I don't know what bobcats are. Maybe. I don't know. Bobcat, the machinery or the animal? Why is this SQL connection not even working? Because it's there. Like, why is it breaking? It's just not even running anything. Like, why is this not working? Is there an exit somewhere that I'm not privy to? Well, there's an exit there. But even so, that should be... Oh, that's because it's the I'm capturing the output, so of course it's not gonna work. Yeah, look. Oh, this is the wrong language to be doing what I'm trying to do in. What I'm trying to do is run like this SQLite database in a co-process, such that I can query it and get data out of it as a persistent connection, because I don't want to be opening and closing the SQLite database every 5 minutes. But what I do know is that, so this is the SQL query that I've just ran. Enter.help for usage hints. Like, why is that not even working? That should just work. This is me sending the query to the database connection and reading the results. Maybe I should remove this. Nope. Not so much with the working. This should be fine. Let's do the virtual read code. Whoops. Save. Let's see if this is working now. Oop. Echo standard out. I don't know why this is. That seems like a dumb way to do that. Why do I need to do that? I'm not going to do that like that. Echo $1 into the connection. Cool. What if I was to not do that? Maybe if I was to do something like that. So instead of executing the query and then doing the read live, I could just do this in the same thing, I guess, like that. I can just combine them into one query. Thanks for subscribing. Thank you. It's very nice. Thank you very much. I'm glad that you like what I'm doing so much to do that. Thank you. I'm not very good at that. I'm not very good at this whole thing, but I'm trying my best. Trying my best. That's all I can do in life. I feel like I need to. Is this? So I'm struggling. I'm struggling with this code process. Maybe I feel like I almost need to sort of start again a little bit and just use what I've got and just rebuild from there with a little bit more telemetry and debugging. Telemetry and debugging around it. Because ultimately what I want is I want to be able to what I'm trying to build is have a bash script with memory. And so I run this bash script and it creates a SQLite connection, and I can interact with that SQLite connection like a regular ORM type situation. That's what I'm trying to do. But I'm just like, I'm not very good at bash. I'm not very good at bash. And I think just the one thing that I struggle with bash a lot, and I've started building my own standard library of tools. You can see that sort of hanging out here. And one thing I struggle with a lot with bash is just the complicated way that you read it. I find reading bash exceedingly complicated. And it's not a pleasant language to read. And I've found that most attempts to make it slightly more readable are often met with hesitation from the bash community. Like, this is a low-level language. You shouldn't be doing this in the first place. Like, get away. Don't try to make it easier to read because you're not supposed to. You're not supposed to be easily read this thing. Like, use a different language if you want to make it easily readable. And that's not a very nice thing to hear. So, I struggle with that a little bit. But, this is what I'm running. And so like it runs this thing and it outputs this data, and I can go select dot tables. See, this is kind of what I want. Like it's already set. Like you see this ready? Cool. This is the dilemma that I'm using. So whenever it encounters this ready thing, I know that it's finished a query. It's almost like I need to maybe just keep looping over the output that I get until I get it ready. I guess maybe. Like, why is this? Let's reduce it to a very simple case. Like, I'm sending the query to the database connection. Great, fantastic. I'm reading that back out, and I'm echoing what I get. And so this should result in something. Like, where's the rest of the data, I wonder? Like, why is it not coming through? Is it the delimerator that's not? Maybe, I think, /d. Like, how does read know to stop reading, I guess? Because read's going to keep reading until, I think, a new line. Let's see what line does here. I make it to a line instead. So I'm going to keep reading and output the lines that I get. Yeah, see now it's stuffed because it's blocked on something. It's blocked on something. Maybe this slash should. And I'm not even getting any lines at this point. But if I run it like this, see? Because it's not even. Yeah, maybe the ifs needs to be. The internal field separator needs to be a new line, maybe. Like that. Cool. Okay, so the internal. Okay, that's something. So now we've. Let's. You know what? Let's put a bit of color in here. So let's go printf instead, and we'll go /e. 33M, I think. I'm raw dogging it. I'm doing it a lot. Will that produce what I want? What does 33 give me? Absolutely nothing. I want colors. Give me some colors, computer. Why is this not giving me colors? It should be giving me colors. It should be giving me something interesting. Let's have a look. Yellow text. Yellow text ANSI. I did get yellow right. It was 33. 033M. Really? Okay. What? Still not yellow. Interesting. I reckon not /e here. I'm not allowing it to come through, maybe. Nope. What if I put something else here? SQL. Huh. Interesting. It's not even coming out properly. Some other echo is taking over. Like this should be doing what I thought it was. This should be doing what I thought it was going to do. It should be a prefixing SQL to all the beginnings here. Maybe it's this one. Oh no, it shouldn't be this one. Results. Oh, I'm running the SQLite. I'm running my script, man. I should be programming. I shouldn't be allowed to touch this stuff. I was running the SQLite command directly. Wasn't even going through my script. See, this is why I need better debugging. This is why we need better debugging. So, like, Let's pull this out of a variable for now because it's currently buffering the result, which I don't really want. Let's just do this just to see how far we can get with it. Okay, there's some SQL. Ah, it's yellow. Very good. Very good. Yellow. I love yellow. Let's get rid of this now. Oops. All right, cool. So this is the output that I'm getting from SQLite in yellow, which is good. In fact, I almost want to type that to a file actually, which I can do quite easily. I can just go, you know what, like echo the line to SQL.log, I guess. I'll pipe that to that as well. And then I can run that again. SQL.log. There you go. So if I run this again, cool, I get the output in this little log file. Very basic log file here. Now, should I make the output colored? It's interesting that, so I'm running this query first, but then I'm getting that bullshit that I had to deal with earlier. So SQLite version enter.help, right? So then, and then it says ready. So we know that I'm running the query twice though. I wonder why it does that. Oh, right. Okay. So this is me. Yeah. Okay, cool. So look, this is, what I might do is /E. Where's green? Give me some green. This one I want. Yes, thank you very much. Oops. And then /E0M should mean that I'm echoing that SQL query to the logs in a nice green color. In beautiful green. Is it green? It is not green. Because there is no E. Really? Do I need the E? Ah, success. So this is the query that I'm running, right? This is what I'm passing into that SQL query, that SQL function, and this is the output. And this is that's the one, when you run a query in SQLite, it echoes it back to you before you run it, and this is the results. And that's that ready call again that I have to sort of capture. So if the line, this is what I had before, but I don't know why I removed it ready, then I can just break because I know that I've reached the ending at that point, right? So because you'll notice that my program halts, like it's stuck, right? Like it's not doing anything. It's because read is continuously running, waiting for like somewhere to know, hey, I'm done reading from that standard out. So we'll try that again now with that. It's got that break in there. There we go. Cool. Look. It's now breaking correctly when it reaches that ready. Cool. But the first thing I need to do is do that. But the problem now is that it's, I need to basically do an initial read after I make the initial connection to get this bullshit out of the door, right? That's why this read code is in here. All right. So let me just, this is not great code. I'm not loving this code a little bit. Well, you know what? Let's just bring this back. I'll bring this back in here. I'm gonna do a read code. Okay. So when I make the initial connection, I print out some bullshit, and this is just a function that I have. I'm going to do that initial read to get that data out, that like you've connected to this database, blah, blah, blah thing. And then I should be in a good position to start doing arbitrary queries. Yeah, look, okay, cool. So these are the results. These are results I'm getting back, but I'm not finishing the query. I wonder why. This is not. Is it because tables? It should be on a new line. I don't know why it's not a new line. It's a new line here. So I'm running the query now. Just clear this. Okay, ready. And I'm running that SQL query, and then it's echoing it back to me. And then there's that stuff I need to sort of deal with. I have to get that out of the chat now. I have to get it out of the standard out, extract it somehow. So I was doing that. Read code. Is it yellow? I mean, it's there. Results. Let's pull this back out now. Let's put this like this and see how far we get with echo results. This should be outputting the results. I don't know why it's not doing that. Because I'm printing it in there. Because that's it. Ultimately, this is the stuff that I want. Give me that. I need that returned. Actually, you know what I might do in here as well is I might enter a new line into the log, because that way then I know that it's like kind of like a separator for like what between queries. So interestingly, there's no separators in there now. Oh, it's echo line. Whoops, that's all right. I got that whole thing wrong. I got that whole. There we go. Now we're cooking with gas. Yeah, cool. So this is one thing it ran, and then it's finished. Right, so query. This is the result. What I want to know is why is ready attached to the end there? Because that's why it's not. I think it's because my my SQLite unit. I think this has to be a new line here. There we go. There we go. Now we're cooking with gas. Now we're cooking with gas. Very good. So. I can now get the results out. See, the results are this, but what I do want to do is skip that first. I might have a custom reader here, so I might just pull. Ultimately, what I need to do now is skip that first result, right? Because the first result is the echo back of the query that I ran, and I don't want that in the results. I want to skip it entirely and just return this data. So, in fact, I should put this. In fact, I'm even echoing that ready. I want to pull that out and do that afterwards. So I'll break before I even get to that ready. So that ready should never appear in that output on the left. There, so ready's gone. Fantastic. That's good. Now I need to get rid of this first select. And how should I do that? I mean, I could probably... I wonder if it would be naughty for in this function here, if I did a single read. I wonder if this would be bad. Like if I just, is this bad? Is this bad? I wonder. Like if I just do a single read and I read to the first line and then that would be it. Like I just read, like this is the query that I ran, and then it would block because there's still more stuff to read. Hey, that worked. Yeah, so what I'm doing is I'm just doing a sneaky read before I pass it to readco to extract that query, that echoed query back. So now the result is exactly that, at which point now I can pass it to my actual reading function that I've got down here that splits on the row, splits on the columns, and should hopefully spit out all the stuff. There we go, look, see? There we go. Why is it yellow? I actually don't want it to be yellow anymore. We can get rid of this yellow. Actually, I'll spit it to the log in yellow. /e 0m a new line, and they'll just print it raw. Yeah, okay, let's try that. Groovy, except it's not coming through as colored in the output because I need a bit of a /e in here. There we go, cool. Very, very good, very, very good. Except this %s. Oh, it's because it's, yeah. I probably should be using a printf probably for security, just make sure those things are escaped. Let's go logged. Log equals, we'll go printf. Oh, we'll do the same thing actually. We'll go print. Here's a cool trick that you can do in printf. You can pass a -v and the variable name, and then it will store the, it will basically store that output it'll store the result of printf in a variable instead of printing it out to stand it out. Kind of a cool feature. Okay, %s here, and then pass in the line to that, and then I'll echo the colored line. Colored line. Actually, why am I using printf? I actually need to use printf. I don't know why I'm complicating itself with a variable. This should be fine. This should be fine. That's better. There we go. Except ready is there too. So what I'll do, I mean, that's fine. I think the fact that I'm putting out the delimerator inside the log is probably fine, just for debugging purposes. Because you can see this is like I keep getting data, and then I hit the ready, and then I kill it, right? But I wonder, let's not complicate it right now. It's just ready's working. Okay, so this is how the SQL query works now. So I run this query like this, and then I loop over the results. And this is the delim for rows, and this is the delim for columns. So maybe put this in variables. Maybe SQL row equals. Like that. Oops, forgot to. I feel like I'm always naturally just double quoting things, but I think I'm not supposed to double quote that. Oh, now I've stuffed it. Maybe I'm supposed to double quote it. No, it's because this is this be row, and this needs to be column. There we go. So what is it doing now is I'm looping over the rows, and then I'm reading each column into a variable. I'm basically, now that I've got each row, I'm splitting it into columns as an array, and then I am printing out each element in that array with the emp prefix. So this is coming out like this, except this is some /n business. Huh. /n. -n. Mm-hmm. That's not what I want. What's that business about? -n. But -n somewhere floating around. Oh, this thing. Let's go printf. Let's change to printf line slash. So then, yeah, let's just do that instead, maybe. Much cleaner. Much cleaner. All right, so let's see if we can get rid of this. We don't need this floating around anymore. That's why that was in dev null. Cool. So now we can also get rid of maybe these two things. Cool. All right. So I think this kind of works now. Like we've got this cool output of SQLite. Oh, whoops. My computer decided to stop working. I hope that it's still live, still working. Yeah, it seems still be live on Twitch. Still there. Okay, so now that I've successfully. What have I done? What have I done exactly? I've made a way for me to create a connection to a SQLite database inside Bash, and then make queries to it. Except this API here, it's no good. I just don't like it at all. If I put this in quotes, will it fuck it up? Because I have an impulse to double quote. Such an impulse. Like if I do this, it's going to fuck it up. Ready? It's going to fuck it up. Oh, okay. It's not fine. It's fine. It's fine. Okay. My impulse has been satisfied. But I don't like that. So I'm using the word ready here as the delim, right? So SQL, my bash script knows that it's time. It's found a query. It's finished a query, and it's ready for the next one using this ready thing, right? But that's not very sustainable, because obviously if the word ready exists in the SQL output, it's going to fail quite miserably. So I need to come up with a different delimiter. I mean, I could use maybe new line. Like, why is new line not appropriate, I wonder? Because I guess new line might exist in the SQLite output as well, but I assume that the SQLite output would have escaped new lines, I guess. I would hope so, at least. I would hope so. I wonder. And the other thing I was doing the other day, it was a good idea, was to have a null character. Like an ASCII null character, this particular one, like just a nullness character. One of these bad boys inside the thing. Like maybe that's, how do I get null in a bash script again? Null character. /o, that's what I want. Get out of my face. /o. Oh, right. Can never remember how to do it. There you go. There you go. I think it's $1. Yeah, it's this. It's this, right? So, but the trick will be, is can I convince SQLite to output? I don't know what that does. Let's have a look. Sure, I guess it's doing something there. But is it null? Let's have a look. Instead of the word ready, let's just look for /0. My scripts to work? No, see how it's breaking? It's hanging now, not knowing what to look for. So let's try that, which is the correct way to check for null. Now it's completely kaput. Completely kaput. Maybe it's more like this, maybe. Nope. Oops. Let's try 3 zeros, maybe. 3 zeros might be good. Thrash 3 zeros. Negative. Tail. Yeah, see, look, it's getting to this point here, and it's just not saying, it's not recognizing the fact that it's not recognizing, or do I make it an empty line? I wonder. Like, I wonder if an empty line in the result set means that it's ready for a new thing. That could work, I guess. So my prompt in the SQLite init gear, is it just a double new line, maybe like this? Which means that it would kind of look like that, right? So, you know, an empty line would, actually only need one new line, I think. Yeah, maybe if it's just an empty line. Like this, if it's an empty line, then break? Maybe? Not so much. Oops. Let's get my log going again. Hum. I think it's because it's reading. But if I was to do, let's bracket in, get some quotes in there just to see if there's any new lines appearing. Yeah, there's new lines there. Let's go back to that SQLite init file. Maybe not a blank. Maybe just maybe this again. Let's just come back to this design. See, it's not actually outputting anything at this point. Why is it not? I'm not getting any output, I guess. That's what I'm wondering. Is it why it's not even printing anything? Like, what's it getting stuck on, I wonder? This seems like a bad thing to output, maybe. I wonder if I should change it so the ifs is not the delim. Maybe what if the delim itself was this, and then I just change the internal field separator to be blank, so it only splits on that, which means that hopefully this gives me every new line, regardless of what's inside it. Well, I'm still getting some output. Aha, new line. Oh, I got past the first one, which is good. Oh, hey. Nice. Maybe this is a better approach. I mean, I'm just, of course, I'm hoping that when any new lines inside the SQLite output are escaped. Otherwise, everything will just go to shit. But in any case, though, it should keep reading it. It should, and then it just breaks on new lines. I feel like that's good. That seems good. And what happens if I let's do a dumb query that doesn't exist. Select everything from toast, because it doesn't exist. Let's see if this breaks my whole setup. No such error. Oh, nice. It printed something. I don't know where that printed from. But look over here. It printed the right thing. Where did this come from? Parse error. Did I put that out there? Because it output the thing and then it jumped into readco. And it printed, actually didn't even get to print to the log. I expected this to actually end up in the log as well, but I don't know why it didn't end up in the log. Is this a matter of like something, it's going to standard error perhaps? Maybe standard error is capturing, maybe it's standard error. In any case, that's good. I'm glad it did that. And obviously then there was nothing else to read from here. I guess this kind of works well. Let's try a read code to be So what I can do, I can run a query and it will fail. And if I bring back that old one, that actually works. Which is very nice. Works really well. What it would be nice though, is if I was to pre-split somehow by row. Because currently it's somewhat annoying. It's somewhat annoying having to do this. Like I don't really like doing this business. It's just quite, it doesn't make for a nice API to do that. But you know what, maybe, like maybe if I do this, right? Maybe, so I'd like to make this API better in the future, but I need to move on to actually making my actual program work. So what if I was to make it raw, or better yet, like raw somehow? And that will then, it's just a flag for my execute gear just to return the results in its raw format. Meaning that at some point in the future, I can then just, pardon me, make it so that if that's removed, then like it'll have a slightly nicer format syntax for me to pass through. Maybe that's the way that I do it, because I want to get to the auto jump gear. Okay. Yeah, let's do that. So, so there's a lot of ways there's a lot of ways to pass arguments inside a bash function. There's a lot of different ways to do it. You can use getopt is one way to do it. Getops is another way to do it. The differences between getopt and getops is subtle, but for the most part, you need to know that one of them supports like these longer style arguments and one doesn't. For me, I feel like the best CLI programs support both a short syntax and a long syntax, which means that getopt and getops is kind of annoying. Like it's annoying it doesn't work for either case. Now it's good for very simple scripts, but for the most part, it's just not really. I don't think getopt or getops is fit for purpose in modern CLI tooling. So the way that I handle this usually is I'll just write my own parser for the arguments, and writing an argument parser inside bash is actually quite simple. So the way you do that is you go, so the default, the default thing that you loop on inside a bash function is the argument itself. So you'll see here I'm calling for arg, and I'm not passing like, I'm not passing an array or anything or any sort of input into the for loop. I'm just running it without any inputs. That means that it'll default to the arguments. What here I can do is pass into a case statement like this. If it's a case, and then you can sort of have some logic that based on the argument that you pass does what runs a bit of a code you like, right? So if you're here, I'm gonna capture the -- raw argument. I'm just gonna break here and then go basically that's all I need to do really, because I don't actually want to do anything in particular with the raw argument. I just want it to be supported. What I need to do is shift, right? So that'll then, the arguments passed in basically are numbered. So 0 argument, is it arg $1? No, so 1 arg is -- raw, and then 2 is the SQL query, right? By calling shift, it just makes $1 go away, and that become 1, just like that. So that means that $1 will still work here. So this code here, all this is basically doing, saying if raw is the first argument that is passed into this function, it's this cool story, bro. Thanks. I'm just gonna do nothing with that. So that means I should be able to just pass raw, just like this, and everything will just totally break. Just totally break. Because why did it break? Syntax error, unexpected raw token 28. Oh, I forgot the word in. Whoops. Forgot the word in the bash. Cool, great. So now just passing that. Oh, this is no good. I'm now re-echoing the query. I don't want it to do that. Is it because I'm even doing a read in that SQL call? Oh no, I think this is not working as well as I hoped anymore. This code is not working. Oh, I think I just need to do this. /d line. No, it should work then, maybe. There we go. Oh no. Oh no. This is not. I have totally broken. I've totally broken it. Query, that's right, yeah. Query. Why is this no longer reading? This, what I expected to do is be sort of stealing the first. Maybe they both need to be $N. Nope. I wanted it to steal the first one, steal the first result set back out before it went out to the read results function. I mean, what I could do is have like a skip first argument to read results, which does exactly what, you know. And when it read results, it would just skip whatever the first line. Maybe. No, it feels dirty. I feel like I shouldn't be doing that. I feel like I should be doing that in here. But I don't know why I can't read from that anymore. I know that's not working. Change this query just to be a limit. That's kind of annoying having to scroll all the time. Limit 2. Oh no, I've forgotten how to run SQL queries. Oh no, oh no, oh no. There we go. We can all calm down. I totally fucked this up. Look. But I'm wondering why on earth is it separated like that? I would not have expected it to be separated like that at all. Because it doesn't have that dilim. Maybe it's like this maybe. Maybe I need to use some /d. D. Oops. EMP1. There we go. Well, one's back now, which is good. Which I suppose is correct because that's reading up to the first thing, right? Because it's reading this the SQL query, but We'll do this maybe. Oh, I've totally broken it. I really wish it didn't output the query back. That's very frustrating. What if I was to do a while like this, right? I know it's not correct. I mean, that's pretty dirty, but I'm just basically doing the same thing above. Oops, done. Interesting, it doesn't actually work. I wonder why. Because it's supposed to be reading, it's reading from the thing and splitting on a new line. Like if I was to go echo, this is line. To the log. Let's do it to the log. This is line. It's not getting anything in there. I wonder why. Is it because like the first, it's actually not. Oh, I wonder, is it because there's two prompts in here? There's two new lines, maybe. Maybe. Ah, look, this is line. Aha. Ah, because there's two new lines. Huh. Okay. There are two new lines. Yeah, look, so that's why it's blocked now, because I mean, this is line is now working. It's successfully pulling out that first echo back from SQLite. But now it's blocked, waiting for. Oh, maybe it's like /r. So not two new lines per se, but it's like go back to the start, maybe. I think two lines is probably correct, but I think I maybe need to do it twice. Like read twice, maybe. Like that. I mean, it's not. I really don't like this. I really don't like this. But this should work. There we go. That feels awful. It feels like gross ass code. This feels gross. Get rid of this skip first. Don't do that anymore. That feels so gross. It looks like a bug. You know, there's a code that looks like a bug is a bug. Like when you read the code and you're like, is this a typo? Should this not be here? It is a bug because you've not accurately described the behavior to the reader. It's a bug. Maybe I'll go one of these. Maybe one of these. Nah, negative. Why does this not work, I wonder? Because I don't think this works. No. Maybe Need two of them? Nope. Negative. Look, I mean, this works. It works. It works. It works. It works. That's the thing. Do I like it? No, I don't. But I gotta move on. I gotta move on. All right. Okay, so maybe the last thing I'll try to look, I've got my SQLite, my standard lib debugger in here. I can probably always because what I'm struggling with is like, what do I expect? How do I expect as a user to be able to read the results of this thing, right? Like, how would I expect to maybe like CSV output? Maybe, I guess. Like, it's fine. I should stop touching it. Stop touching it. I gotta stop touching it. All right, let's put it into my stand. So I'm writing this. This is outputs to the log. This is doing the actual query itself. This is the gross like double read situation where I read basically steal the first query results, the first line from the query output. And then I'm echoing it to query. That's right. This doesn't. Right. Okay. So this reads the first, like this reads the first line, like the first new line, and this is the actual query itself. I think. Like if I was to read this query here, prompt. This is the prompt, I think. There you go. Yeah. So read the prompt and then get the query out. Yeah, maybe. Okay, right. So remember I said before that some code that if it looks like a bug, it is a bug. This maybe sort of solves it because I'm sort of capturing it into some environment variables. Yeah, it's not too bad. I think I can live with that. I think I can live with that scenario. My computer over here, my streaming machine keeps going to sleep, but I'm hoping it's not affecting the stream at all. All right, I've caffeinated my machine. I feel like the next step. What is the next step? Like, where do I go from here? Because I've got this database that I'm already writing the working directories into. Let me show you that. I think it's in the Skippy folder. Yeah. Skippy, the bush kangaroo. There we go. So select SQLite 3 Skippy. Select everything. What was the table called again? Oops. Table DIRs. Select everything from DIRs. Like these are the directories that. Whoops. Let's go mode. Mode marked table. Yeah, let's go table. Slightly better output format. Right, so you can see that I'm in the Skippy folder 30 times, in the code folder 43 times. And these are all the folders that I've been navigating to on my computer. In fact, I can go order by frequency desk, and that will return the folder that I use the most. Like I'm consistently going to the code folder, then the Skippy folder, and then these two things, right? So now what I want to do is see if I can start querying this database. But I need to fix all the infrastructure around what I've done, right? So I've got this dodgy ass code. I'm working on this framework called standardlib.sh, where I'm sort of building my own, I would say, bash framework of just utility functions that make life just a little bit easier. Maybe I'll pull my SQL code into that. I'll probably need to do a slight cleanup so you can at least pass in a, really pass in a database instead of the hard-coded Northwind test database that I have. And then clean up my bash insert script. And then I should be in a point to start at least selecting stuff. Or I can, I've got this read function. What does this read script do? This is the read thing. This is where it's all sort of the magic is happening. Passing dv to read. Maybe I'll, yeah, look, okay. So here's what I was trying last week. So once I built, I think I'm very close to circling in on all the infrastructure that I need, all the different elements to make this thing work, right? So I've got a way to save the working directories to a database. I've got some SQL, I've got some like bash SQL functions to make that a bit easier. I can read from a SQLite database inside bash. The bit that I have, the only real infrastructure piece that I haven't figured out yet is the selection algorithm. Like, how do I choose the right folder? So maybe I'll work on that, and then I can work on combining all the pieces later on. Yeah, let's do that. So what do we got going on here? All right, let's just close this off. Because I can clean this up in my own time. Like you don't have to watch me clean up this code. I don't think it's overly interesting. Me documenting code and making it, adding variables in the mix and whatever. So we'll skip that. Because the last bit is like, how do I, given a bunch of directories, how do I choose the right one? That's the next frontier, I think, that I need to sort of solve. But I'm reading from a database. Okay. All right. So let's just pull that. I was trying to avoid pulling in, like, I've got some SQL functions that I've written, pulling into my standard library framework, but I might also just do that now. I'll just quickly do that. Shouldn't take me too long. All right. So the standard library that I've got is like this. It's sort of laid out a little bit like this. So I've got my binary file, a bunch of library functions. SQLite, apparently it's already in there. Maybe I started building it already. Lib SQLite. I already started putting some stuff in here already. Let's pull this out. Let's go code SQLite. Let's pull in the latest version of these things. Groovy. Okay, so I do need a SQL init function, SQL connect, I would say. It does this thing. I need an absolute path to this because I don't want to leave it to chance. So it's like standard lib path, I think. Lib SQLite init. And I'll make a folder for that. Lib SQLite. Then I'll copy that init file that I wrote. SQLite init. Init to my standard lib code, standard lib. SQLite folder. I think I called it init. I wonder what it calls it in the this thing. I wonder what it calls it here. It's like what does it call the init file? Init. We'll just call it init. Lib SQLite init. Cool. And then this now will be basically $1, I think, because it's the thing you passed in. Like it's the SQLite 3. That's a bit of a. Let's add some lines so I got a bit more easy to read. Beauty. So SQL Connect. We'll call SQLite one. Now this is I can't use a coprocess forever in Bash because probably the coprocess is you can have one, and I don't want my SQLite library to be sort of taking over your only coprocess thing. So at some point I'm going to need to move to a different way to handle a different way of doing this. But that's not the job for today. Might pull these into this echo function for now and just debugging purposes. SQL read, that's fine. I might pull this up because what's going to happen is after that first connection, I'm going to want to read the bullshit out. It's that first connection, so I'll do that now. Whoop. And then my connection gear here. I'll leave this environment variables as is, and now I think this is basically the functions that I need to pull across. Now this SQLite log. Now this is going to just output some. This is going to output some random log. This really needs to respect XDG. Oh, look, you know what? I'm just going to do this for now because I can't be bothered dealing with the logging aspect of this. So I'm just going to not. What I could do is SQL log maybe. And yeah, this is much better. All right, so we'll do this. $1. So the benefit of putting into a function like this is I can keep the SQL logger log. I can sort of keep the instruction set, but I can just comment out, the guts of it. And just figure out how I want to handle it later on. Even these two things here, it would be fantastic to be in this SQLite log thing. So I'll go SQL log. Beauty. Now Now, con I've renamed to SQLite con. Beauty. And here, let's put this to, what did I call it? A SQL logger log. Like that, beauty. Cool. Now the last change I want to make is this is in a SQL namespace, but that's not really accurate. It's more SQLite. So let's change it to SQLite. I think that works. And this top one SQLite row. Oops. This should be SQLite now. No one cares about the actual format type. Well, now that I've put all this stuff in a function, there's no reason why I can't just like put it somewhere. I mean, I could just to hard code it for now, or if not hard code per se, but home dot state I think is the place where you put stuff. Standard lib sh SQLite.log and make dir-p, make sure those directories exist. State standard lib.sh. Yeah, I'd just keep that like that. That's fine. Like, I think I just built exactly what I needed to build. Except this line is wrong too. SQLite. Oh, this has got colors. It's kind of annoying. I'll solve the color problem later on. SQLite logger log. Cool. Yeah, see, I've got colors like embedded there, but that's not great. I should probably have like a query type. Like there should be a way for you to mark what it is your query, what it is you're logging inside the logger, but I'll deal with that another day. Now I think this is all the stuff that I need to do to make this work globally. I mean, let's try let's try it, I guess. Let's see if it works. There you go to our Skippy code. Skippy the bush kangaroo. Now I've got, this code currently is using, oops, I gotta use, watch, I'm not even using NeoVim, I'm using Vim. Yeah, okay, so now I need to pull in my standard lib framework and see if I can get this working with, let's see if I can get it working. So the way that I need to do that is eval my standard lib shell environment like this. That should pull in basically the bare minimum I need for my standard lib. And then I can go standard lib import SQLite. I think that should just work. Let's see what this, let's see if that does anything. SQLite, read. Cool, it does something. All right, let's see if it actually did anything. SQLite, oh, wait a second. Did I not put standard lib in front of all these things? Gah, outrageous. Whoops, standard lib. Rookie. All right, first thing I need to do is call this connect method and then pass in skippy.db, I guess. Standard lib SQLite log. Did I not? 18. Standard lib SQLite log. Whoops. Cool, I seem to be doing something. Let's go read, shall we? Let's just try read. SQLite executes. Raw, select everything from DIRs. Hey, neat. Look, I made my SQLite gear work. That's nice. That's nice. Obviously, the way that I've approached this whole thing means that, you know, you can't have multiple SQLite connections because it's using a code process, but that's fine for now. That's fine. So let's then bring in that loop code that we had from that other file that we don't particularly like, but it works. It should be, I think I need to probably prefix these with standard lib as well, probably. Standard lib. I don't like this, but it's fine. Standard lib SQLite. Now if I run this again, what do I get? I get nothing. It's because I got a results. There we go. Maybe quotes. I don't know, is that rude? Hey, look at that. I'm getting output. Oh yeah, boy. Let's get rid of this echo. Absolutely fabulous. Because now what it's doing is it's selecting the data, all the data from that DIRs directory. What I could do is just clean this up a little bit and go like this. Call 0. Oops. Need some curlies. Need some curlies. Call 1. Whoa, 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 whoa. So now I've broken it because it's calls. Very good. Where's this new line coming from? Like, where's that coming from? A rogue new line has appeared. Oops. Huh. I think the data, that last variable includes a new line. I could be wrong. Could be wrong. No, I'm not wrong. I think this needs to be in here, maybe. Not so much. Not so much with the working now. What I'm trying to ascertain here is there a new line embedded in the data, which means that when I output it, it's doing a new line. So the row is this. So the row is this data here, and then, well, there's no new line in that mix. There's no new line here, right? There's no new line at the end of this thing. So why is it when I convert it to oops, why is it when I convert it, when I do a split on it, it gets a new line? I wonder. Like, that shouldn't be adding new lines. Oops, I think I'm supposed to be over here. Yeah, where's this new line coming from, man? I wonder. Because it's not in the original. Do this. It's not in the original data set. Oops, sorry, row. I mean, this is row. Like, it's not here. It's just straight up separated than 30. And this is the first bit out, and the second bit out is a new line. It includes a new line. Is it this code? I wonder. I mean, I do have a string in my standard lib code. I've got a separator function. Maybe I should use that. String. Oh, maybe I don't have it here. Rejoin. No, I don't think I've copied it across yet. Oops. I wonder why. I wonder why it's adding a new line at the end there. It's not supposed to be. What if I don't have quotes around this? No. Still new line. Let's see what Dr. Google says. No. Yeah, look, I'm not going crazy, right? You know, like, there is no new line here. But when I do a split, all right, let's go to the Pure Bash Bible. The Pure Bash Bible. And get to split the function. Split a string on a delimiter. The OG of splits. I feel like the dilemma is what I want to. All right, sorry, I had to confirm with the original code base. I feel like. I feel like that's what I want, right? I mean, it pulls out the first one, but it doesn't get the second one. Where's the quotes? Nope. Where's that Pure Bash Bible example? No, I definitely want to use ifs. Okay, let's do this for it off. Oh, interesting. That goes away now. I put that dash D in there of a blank line. Interesting. So if I add that dash D of an empty string, it adds that new line character. But if I get rid of it, it goes away. Okay, well, that's what I want. Cool. Okay. Cool. All right. Well, that works. That works. All right. Cool bananas. So, okie dokie. All right. What have I done? So, I have managed to pull my SQLite gear into my standard library of framework. And I'm doing that here. You can see that I'm importing my SQLite functions from the standard library. I'm now connecting to my Skippy database, which I know is already being populated with the directories that I that I cd to. Every working directory that I go to is added to that Skippy database. Now I'm running a query. So standard lib SQLite execute raw. As we know, does absolutely nothing under the hood. It's just a way for us to remember that this is a raw output. Select everything from directories. And this is the directories that are all in that database. Now, the trick we would want to do is choose the right one. Choose the right one. Specifically, if you pass in DV, then dev files is what I want to appear at the top. So order by frequency descending. All right, so now it's automatically going to. We had some code in here before. We're using the fuzzy fetch gear that I wrote. Did I lose? There was like another thing I needed to do, like load extension, I think. Like, yes, trying that. Pardon me. All right, what's this? Select what load what have I got here? What have I got here? Fuzzy search. Yeah, these are all these cool extensions that I found, SQLite extensions that I found on the internet. The trick is which one do I want? Like which how do I choose the right one? Basically, is what I'm trying to figure out. Because what I want is when I pass in DV, I get back dev files. Well, the first thing I think might be interesting to tackle is removing of this home/Magic Key folder, because really, in actual fact, I never remember the folder that I'm like my home folder. I never want to go. If I want to get to the home folder, I'll go CD tilde. So I really don't need. I really don't care about my home folder. I tell you what I'll do. We'll just go SQLite 3, skippy-db, select, what's .load, fuzzy, I guess. Fuzzy, load extension, so what was load extension. Come on, don't mess around with me this time. Select load extension. Don't mess around with me. I literally spent the whole stream last time trying to figure out how to make this work. Don't do this to me. It's .load. Yeah, .load fuzzy. Skippy fuzzy. Don't do this to me. Don't make me fail. Oh, did I accidentally delete my original code on how I did this before? I think I deleted it. I think I deleted my original implementation. Gah. Let's just try the full skippy fuzzy. Oh, okay, that worked. Phew. Whew. Almost had a heart attack then. It's so weird that load fuzzy doesn't work. I thought that it would have loaded from the current directory. I thought the directory which I loaded from would have been the. Whoops! Come on, get out of here. Yeah, I would have thought that, you know, this would just work, but apparently there's probably some path in the mix that I don't understand or know about, like some load path maybe. There you go, loads are. Now, select everything from DIRs. Now, cool. I need to figure out a way, so if I pass the query of DV, it'll return that dev files folder. Let's open up a browser. Let's look at that fuzzy extension that I've got. SQLite package fuzzy. Here we go. Fuzzy. Give me the fuzziness. Here we go. Lovely. All right. What have we got? What's on the platter? What do we have? These functions measure the difference between two strings. Only ASCII strings are supported. Damlev. Demuro Levenstein distance, or the edit distance, calculates the spell check edit distance, the Hamming distance, the Jero Winkler, the Levenstein, the optimal string alignment distance. So there's a few different things that we have up our sleeve, but I think that the first thing we need to do is remove this first bit. All right, let's remove the that home path from the calculation because I just don't think it's that important. So let's get the SQLite docs out. SQLite. I hope there's a way to just do replacing. Hope there's a way just to replace stuff. Oh, yes. Replace. Aha, success. Replace function returns the string. Well, I actually want ltrim specifically. Returns the string formed by removing any and all characters that appear in Y. If the Y argument is omitted, xtrim removes spaces. So maybe try ltrim. What is it? Path, I think I called it. And then /home /magic Keith. Oh, sick. Damn it, I totally screwed up my query. Why did I lose my beautiful query? It worked really well. Damn it. There we go. Cool, I mean, that works. So I'm trimming Magic Keith from the path, and I'm left with these directories. Fantastic. So now I need to make a decision about which distance algorithm I should use. Let's try the first one, right? Fuzzy Damlev, right? So, come on, where did you go from? All right, Fuzzy, what was it? Fuzzy Damlev? Fuzzy Damlev. DV. Now this is going to break because I haven't loaded the extension, which is fine. I'll load the extension now. Select load extension. That's why we have to pass the home standard lib. Skippy fuzzy. Oh, hang on, what? Oh, okay. /home /magic Keith Skippy fuzzy. I thought that was the way we did it before. I thought we figured this out. I can't remember how it worked earlier. Didn't break it, did I? Dot load. Okay, dot load, baby. This API is so finicky. Okay, cool. Now let's try that query that I tried. This one. All right, it's a beginning. All right, what the fuck am I even looking at? All right, let's have a look. Path. I mean, that's the Damlev, whatever the Damlev thing is. Dot mode table. So this is the output of the Damlev here. I mean, we've got DV returns a result of 37. What I can do is what would you call this? Is it like choice? Yeah, and then I can do a subquery of select everything from blah. X order by X dot choice descending. There we go. Cool. So I can just sort of change that middle bit without having worried too much about the rest of the query. So if I was to make the fuzzy damlev algorithm, the choice mechanism, typing dv would go to this. Who the fuck knows why that's the case, but let's try a different one then. Let's try edit dist. Edit dist. Not so much. Not so much. What else we got? Hamming. Let's try hamming. All -1. Interesting. Assessment Jarrow Winkler. Jarrow Win. Jarrow Win. Whoops. Can't even type properly. Aha! Ooh la la! Ooh la 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 la! So what have we got here? This is the first time that we've got the right result back. By passing dv, I'm now getting the dev files folder at the top. The top choice is that dev files folder. Not by much, by the way. Obviously, dev machine is like. What if we go DVM? That should be at the top. I wonder why dev files appears first. I guess. I don't know why dev files appears first, but it's what I want. I mean, it's what I want. Maybe let's go with that for now. Let's go with the Jarrow Winkler algorithm. Because now look, now that I've got this working, I think I've got all the elements I need to make my auto jump work. All right, let's go read. Let's pull this out. Because then my query is basically results on what's directory equals, let's pull this out, select everything from SQLite, standard lib, SQLite, execute, select everything, or select directory from how do I extract this query? I suppose it's the same as like, it's still a subquery, I think, from, I mean, this code's not gonna be the best, but that's okay. Exit this from path Jarrow Winkler. Now I need to fix this replacing business. From select path from blah blah blah. That's wrong. That's straight up wrong. Let's just see what happens if I just do this. Just blankly copy the query that I was running in the other thing to this, and it just hangs. Fantastic. Absolutely nothing happens. You know why? It's because I haven't loaded in the extension. But the fact that it didn't tell me is an issue. The fact that my framework didn't alert to me that there was an issue. I bet you monies, if I was to tail-ev state SQLite log. That up here, please. I mean, you can see it's working, but the result is returning an error somewhere that the results, the errors is not getting reprinted somewhere, but that's fine. That's fine. Let's go a little bit of standard lib, SQLite, execute, load, and I think we determined that it needed to be some bullshit path. So home, magic Heath, Skippy, Fuzzy. I don't know if that load works in this context. Of course it doesn't. What did I get wrong? Just the right path? Oh, what's the missing code folder? All right. It says code. Code. Well, it's loading something now, I guess. Look, it's doing something there, and it seems to be working. But why is this just not letting me see the results anymore, I wonder? Should I do I have to read from this result set beforehand before I do it? Results. Oh, you know what it is? I think I'm lacking a my gear needs to add a semicolon if there wasn't one. Doesn't do that right now. There we go. Alright, now I can get rid of this. I think I don't need this anymore. Nice. But I don't expect why? Why are these here? I don't expect those here at all. Because that's not in my result set. I'm Jarrah Winklering. I should be Jarrah Winkling. Path from, it's because the trimmed path isn't there, maybe, or select path from this subquery. Order by choice descending. Maybe I was missing that bit. There we go. Lovely, lovely, lovely. And now if I go, look, we're so close. Like we are so close to having this working. Limit 1. Yes, 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 yes. So now if we replace dv with a very poorly implemented $1, which we know is going to be like bad for SQLite injection. Dev DM, maybe dev machine. Aha, look at this. It works. It works. I'm very proud of this. I'm very proud. DV and dev files. DM, dev machine. That's exactly how I wanted it to work. It's exactly what I wanted. I'm very happy with that. So what the fuck do I do now? I don't know what to do now. I think, well, now that it's outputting the... Look, I mean, this script isn't that great, but ultimately, now I need to have a bash function that will take this query, run this script, and then cd to that folder. Now, I think that I can only do that inside the bash rc file. I need to call the function something, so let's call it sk. We'll call it sk for now for Skippy, but I'll come up with a different name, better name later on. All right, let's go. Path equals. What do I want to do? Home. I gotta get these paths way better handled, but that's okay. Skippy and then read sh and pass in the argument again. Probably need to do way better handling of the parameters, but that's okay for now. skdb. Hey, look at that. So now, moment of truth. Moment of truth. Why you no work? No such file or directory. Really? But it exists. But it's right there. That's a real place. Just take me to it. Is it something to do with new lines, I wonder? CD home magic keys, no such file or directory. I bet you it's something. Yeah, I bet you it's a new line in the mix. Let's get rid of this new line. Oh, it's printing out all this bullshit. So let's get rid of this. I mean, read dv. Oops. Well, there's my file. There's my business. And we can tell that there's no new line being entered because that percentage is there. Bash sk. Oh, shit. Oh. What? No such table durs. How'd that fuck up? Maybe I need to, you know what? Let's go, home / Skippy, code Skippy. Put an absolute path to that folder in there. We did it. If I go standard lib, standard, and that's not what I wanted. Maybe because I've not gone to the standard lib folder before. Interesting that std doesn't go to this location, but this works and this works. which is what I set out to do. And I've basically now built my own auto jump. DM, DV. Is it good? Absolutely not. Is it shit? Yes, it is. But does it work? Yes, it does. And that's kind of what I set out to do. And I'm very happy with myself because I had to build a lot of infrastructure. I had to build a whole bunch of SQLite stuff. I had to build an immense amount of code just to make this work and then that work. And look, you can see the queries even down here happening. Look, see? Happening down here. Well, I'm very happy with myself. And on that note, I'm going to finish up for the day because I made it work and I'm going to go celebrate with some lunch. All right, friends. Well, thanks for tuning in and watching the stream. I hope you learned a few things and I'll see you next week. Goodbye, everybody. Thanks for watching. I got to find the button. Awkwardly find the button now. Awkwardly find the button that lets me cancel the stream. Just over here. And here. I actually can't find the button. Because I think it's in a display that I can't see. Cool. Aha. I found it. All right, friends. Goodbye. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.